You're listening to the Mopcast Network.
Welcome to Bros, Brews, and Movies.
Yay!
Just like how I slid into that.
Yeah.
I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty.
I'm your facilitator of fun, Stephanie.
We have a prize pixie at the end there.
Hi. Every time I start, I'm like, I didn't think of a name every single time.
But you have a name. So
Prize Pixie is clearly your name.
It's a great name.
It is.
And we have a special guest for this wonderful episode. I basically were like, hey, we're going to talk about a shitty movie. You all want to talk about it with us? And they were like, yes.
Yeah, we'll do this.
We have Scott, Carrol, and Eris Walsh. Give them up.
That's us!
They are comedians, actors, writers, and creator of the webcard, and I love this webcard. You should follow it. It's The Adventures of Scott, Buddy, and Erisaurus.
It's hilarious.
Applaud. I don't know. I can't believe it. Alabama. Y'all got to do better.
We were in Ohio last week. We got invited to that YMCA thing.
Yeah, we did. I had to turn it down because I was here. I came here instead. So.
We can't come back to Ohio.
No, we are not allowed.
Oh God.
That is a story for another day.
It is.
So, Mobicon is a wonderful convention, and we love Mobicon. We love him. This is our third year coming here. This is second year doing this podcast. We couldn't do it last year because of scheduling. But I decided to pick the movie based on kind of themed around Mobicon. Mobicon does a lot of gaming, so I did a gaming movie. I apologize.
You should,
sir.
I apologize. I apologize greatly. We are going to discuss the masterpiece.
Masterpiece is a strong word.
It is a strong word.
I don't think that word means
Oh
what you
God,
think it means.
this movie's terrible.
Dungeons and Dragons
That was my favorite movie.
from 2000.
And you said that with a straight face too. That was awesome.
I'm glad you were the one.
Congratulations.
We have so much to discuss and unpack. I forgot my mini little plug thing to make this work. So
to
we have
make big screen stuff.
we have a tiny iPad we're just going to deal with.
It's better this way.
It really
It
is.
brings us all together.
You'll appreciate the fact that you really can't see
it. So just imagine if you can hear the sounds and just pretend this is the trailer.
Hear the sounds and pretend it's good.
Wait, you know what? Here, Eris and I will do. We'll do the trailer for you.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's
Yeah.
really, really easy.
Okay.
Yeah, just cut that off a little bit.
Oh, I can't
All
wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the trailer.
Okay.
You already have the rod.
I do.
So.
Okay. So
Just the trailer.
here's the gist of the trailer of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Jeremy Irons. I made the rod. I can control the dragons.
I'm the childlike empress, and I have my own rod, but this one's good, whereas that one is bad.
My name is Ridley Freeborn. I'm hero protagonist with no actual skills.
I'm Snails. I'm comic relief.
I'm a dwarf who isn't actually named in the movie.
That's true.
Wait, there's another one? Oh, right. I'm Elf. Behold my tits.
And then it culminates with a bunch of really bad CG dragons going, "Roar!" And a Dutch angle shot of Jeremy Irons going, "Now is your time to die."
It's a really good.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you for coming to the panel.
That was it.
Nothing's gonna be that good. We should go now.
We're done.
Okay, so we should probably explain
No.
Why? That was awesome. We should not go any further.
I would like to say, y'all got the gist of that, right? That's as much plot as the end of the
And
film.
we do not. No.
I don't need this anymore. I'm good.
We have you guys.
I think scenes, I'm just going to be like, and remember that one? Go act that out.
Well, the problem is, so both of us had seen the movie when you told us you wanted us to come over. Both of us had seen it before, obviously.
Years ago.
I saw it in
many years
theaters.
ago. Oh, that's so. But we're
Yes.
both like, okay, what do you remember? I'm like, Jeremy Irons. Like, what do you remember? I don't know.
I just remember Jeremy Irons going,
There's a
"Now is
terrible
your
dragon."
time to die."
That was it. So we're like,
I would like to suggest that we, from this time forward, we call him by his real name, Oscar winner, Jeremy Irons. The man has an Oscar and was in this movie,
Yeah.
and we'll explain why.
by the way,
thought
Yes,
the same
yes.
thing when he told me. I was like, I think I remember liking that movie. This will be good.
Right.
Oh.
So we decided that in order
she was
for us
really
to be able to
excited.
do this, we were like, okay, we have to sit down and watch this movie again,
Yes.
so we'll know what the hell we're talking about.
Because it's been so long.
So last night, I own it. I own the DVD.
There was like a deep breath to it, like,
Well,
But
you
wait.
admit that?
But wait,
It's not really streaming it.
But wait.
For free anywhere.
I didn't pay for it.
Okay.
I stole it when I used to work at CVS a long time ago
Well,
out of the $5 bin. However,
somebody will get lucky and own it too tonight. I have 2 copies to give
But
away.
you don't have to steal it. You
Poor
don't have
bastards.
to steal it.
but we found out when we got to my house, we realized that I let my boyfriend, bless his heart, set up our entertainment system with the TV and the receiver and all of this other shit. I don't know the fuck to work any of that. So I really hope you're okay with us cussing, by the way.
I'd say fuck all the time.
Perfect.
Oh, good, great.
So
We're in the adult podcast category
Yeah.
tonight.
So we tried for about half an hour and like several angry text messages with John, who was at work at the time, like make it work. I can't, but we need to. So finally, I was like, fine, and I rented it.
Oh.
So I have now paid money to see this movie for all of you.
I also had to pay money.
We
to
all
see
did.
it.
Yeah.
We all had to pay money.
But I shouldn't have had to.
I paid $3.99 for you guys.
Amazon Prime.
With tax, it
That
was
could have
$4.39.
been $2.99, but you're too fancy to come down off the HD.
No, you
To be
gotta.
honest.
It's
Yeah,
better in
that's
HD
extra
though.
dough.
You can
Cut
see all of the
Shibuji.
fuck ups in HD though.
Yeah, you can.
So let's kind of try to unpack this because that's a lot to do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're in a world of Dungeons and Dragons. It's a land ruled by dudes named mages, and so it's like a council of politicians who can do magic.
Right.
Jeremy Irons is one of them, and he's the most evil of all them. But this also is run by the whole area is also run by Thora Birch, who plays this empress.
Yeah. She's
Who looks exactly like childlike Empress from Neverending Story.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly
like
like
grown
her.
up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
grown up, yeah.
but only slightly grown up.
Right.
Because she's still
Not
like
much
maybe
grown up.
15.
She's tiny.
Like Bastion made the worst wish ever.
Yeah.
at the end of
Like, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
This was only 7 years out from her in Hocus Pocus.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she was still super young.
Oh, this was right after American Beauty. This wasn't too
Yeah.
long after, like the year at. She made American Beauty, which won an Oscar, and was like, Dungeons and Dragons. That's the next movie
that
I'm gonna
sounds like
make.
a
What are we
great
gonna do
idea.
next? Put some gold chainmail on my head and some terrible heels. We got this.
I feel like all of her scenes, I feel like she didn't get her script until 10 minutes before they shot it.
I think she actually
probably
acted about 5 seconds in that movie. The rest of it, she is dialing all of it in.
Well, honestly, because if you look at the angles, a lot of angles, she's like in that SNL angle where they know they got the scripts off stage, so they're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at camera, but I'm really looking at the cue cards.
Yep.
There's a lot of that going
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And Jeremy Irons, actually. Oscar winner.
you know
Oscar
what?
winner
There
Jeremy
were
Irons.
occasional scenes with Jeremy Irons where he was just like, "Fuck it, I got this."
Well, that's when the cocaine hit.
Yeah.
That's not the reason why he was in this movie.
No,
We're,
it wasn't.
That wasn't.
we're
Oh, I
firmly
gotta pull
convinced
up
that essentially in all of these scenes where he was actually acting, what was going through his head was, "This is how I'm going to decorate the west wing of that castle."
Right, exactly.
So let's let that out of the bag.
Yeah, sorry.
Jeremy Irons admitted the only reason why he did this movie was he had just bought a castle
Yeah.
and had to pay for it.
That's exactly.
They
Better
offered
way to pay for a cat.
they
Yeah.
offered castle money to him because I'm
not gonna lie, I'd do this movie for a castle money.
Yeah.
I would
I would.
straight do it.
If I had enough money after the movie to buy a castle, sure.
Yeah.
So the movie starts with Jeremy Irons and his henchman guy, who's got the best lipstick ever. it's you say blue or
It's like
It depends on what scene it is. It's
Right.
either blue
it's
or
the lighting because the lighting
gold
changed
or
like the
silver.
costume
It's
colors.
Yeah.
mostly blue. He looks like he stuck his lips in a freezer for a while.
Yeah.
He's super bald
right.
Yeah.
and like blue lips.
Well, you see his bangs. He looks like he was in a freezer.
Like he's really, really cold. He's like dying from frostbite.
Yeah, but he had the. But even before like the craziness
I wonder if
happened.
you're like really sick.
Well, yes, but this isn't part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay with your life decision, but you know, just complete it. It's like only on the bottom.
Yeah,
lip.
he only worked on the bottom lip.
No, he had both.
Yeah, it was
Really?
both.
Because
Search
I
for
only
both
saw
lips.
the bottom lip the whole movie.
He was
I'm like,
thin-lipped.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he didn't really
the
have much
whole
of a top
movie.
lip.
I was watching. It's like, why does he only have that on the bottom? What is going
He
on
just
here?
he doesn't really have lips. That's the problem. See, Scott has pillowy lips.
I have big pillowy lips.
So you can see both on him, but
Oh, okay.
dude, just a line and then blip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But so Jeremy Irons is in a dungeon with a bunch of monk guys and periwinkle lip guy, and there's a spinning geoscope thing.
It looks like a Q-tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like a rod, but it doesn't really look like a rod. It looks like, I don't know, it's like a piece of a car, like an axle. It's not. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's probably what they found.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a second year university art student's project.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
We're gonna make a gyroscope-ish.
So he breaks it and gets the middle part out, and then
Like an infinity stone.
right, like, and he's all excited. Yes!
It's like, wow, this is
I've
gonna
got
be a
the
really
stick
short
of power.
movie. He's already
And
got
then
it.
it doesn't work.
Well, then the back dungeon wall opens up and there's a giant CGI dragon, like the
Whose scale changes throughout the
Right.
shots.
Oh, yeah.
and like the worst, like, I don't know, Nintendo 64 graphics.
It's a bad
The
Like
whole
Mario
movie,
fought
we're
this
like,
guy.
we've played this level.
Yeah.
I have definitely played this level.
And he tried to control the dragon, but he didn't. And the dragon tried to eat him, and he pulled a rain car maneuver and slashed him in half with the door.
Yeah.
And so, you
And
know,
then the
totally Luke
worst
Skywalker did.
CGI blood ever.
So they had the budget to light a prop guy on fire,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the budget to go buy $12 worth of corn syrup and food coloring from the store
Right.
to make the blood.
Or just water and color it in post.
It-
Water's
it-
free.
I've literally never seen, like, it was the flattest blood ever.
It was bad.
It was terrible. They tried to make ripples in it, and it looks like someone just drew squiggly lines with a Sharpie.
And so then, because Dungeons and Dragons is the game about role. You have a party. We haven't even introduced the party until like 15 minutes into the game.
Right.
I have never played a D&D
Oh, this is-
game.
Neither has he.
Ever.
No, I've never completed a game.
Okay, to be fair,
I
no
know
one
that.
has ever completed a D&D.
I've never played a game like this, though.
It mostly is,
Like,
you suck, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So I got
When my
a job,
mom picks
guys.
me
I'm
up.
sorry, I'm out. You know, that's how it ends.
But we meet Riley Freeborn, who literally, I agree, has no skills. He's
None.
supposed to be a thief.
He's supposed to.
Is he supposed to be? I couldn't figure out what he was supposed
He's a
to
rogue.
be. Is he a rogue?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he,
Because I know
he and-
Snails was a thief.
Yeah,
They're
and-
supposed to both be thieves.
And then he's got.
They're fucking terrible at it. Like the worst thieves
The-
ever.
So what bothered me most about, especially Snails, being a thief.
Who's played by Marlon Wayans.
Right.
Oh,
I've played thieves before. You steal with purpose. You have reasons. Like the scene where he's running through the market and just grabbing stuff. And so it is like, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Well, it's when you're a thief,
It's-
but also comic relief.
Right.
Oh, it was awful.
And I'm totally willing to forgive the, like, you've got the character in the market and he's just randomly, like, grabbing everything and putting it in his. I'm willing to forgive that. Because I would be that character. I would 100% be that character.
At
in
least he
film.
had something to do.
Yeah.
But he was so bad at it.
He really
It was every other scene. He was knocking something over. They were yelling at each other. I'm like,
He was level 1, rolling a 1
yes.
the entire time.
This whole movie was.
For never playing D&D, you know
I
a
know.
lot.
She did her research.
No,
I think the audience agrees.
I play D&D.
You just said you never played D&D.
No, I said I've never played a D&D game like this movie.
Oh, okay.
Is what I mean.
See, I never heard like.
No, I have never played the game like this movie.
Right.
I don't think anybody has.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If they have, they're doing it wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I totally have played D&D, and it's never been like this movie.
Yeah, this whole movie was just a bunch of people rolling. Like there was an occasional nat 20, a whole bunch of crit fails, and like one 15-16 that at least let them sort of do it.
Yeah, he was there.
The monsters in this are
I mean,
terrible.
he was defeated with a rock, so...
How to defeat my balls.
To be fair, we think that the movie spent the majority of their budget on that one castle set
Yeah,
in the Czech
that
Republic.
is
So-
great.
I wonder if that was his castle.
It might have been his
Yeah,
castle.
that was a
Like,
legit
we'll pay for
castle.
your castle. We can use it in the movie. Yeah.
In the Czech Republic, and that was 100. That was 80% of their
Because
budget.
the other 19% went to, well, there's 1% for miscellaneous. The
Yeah.
other 19% went to Tom Baker's 1 day on set
Yep.
Yeah, there was
and
a Doctor Who.
Richard O'Brien's 2 days on set.
Yes. That's the rest of their budget. That's their whole budget. Right. Everything else was pilfered from local colleges. And as many like antique shops as they could find. Go
Donations.
find me shiny shit. I don't care where it came from. There's a scene in the dragon's lair or whatever, and it's literally just as many shiny gold things as they could find.
That's true. That's true.
And-
And a lot of those gold things were like, you know, that gold foil that you can get for baked potatoes.
Yeah, yeah.
They just covered other things in that.
Yeah.
Well, make it look gold.
Yeah.
It's a gold chair.
So
Gold
we
cup.
have the Egyptian mask over here.
A Roman
We've got
helmet.
A Roman helmet
Roman
over here.
Here's like an Ethiopian figure over here.
Right.
No cohesion.
None at all.
But that scene did have like this is for the trailer shot.
The poster shot?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Please.
Okay.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, we
All right,
did it.
fine. Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's why I went, please. Because y'all got this worked out.
So there's, and it's, I'm
So
gonna use this one.
the MacGuffin for this part of the movie is that Riley has to go find a scepter that can control the dragon.
But it's not called a scepter, they're called rods.
Rods. Which
Because let's make all the dick jokes.
right. So he's going through this treasure chamber that's full of all like the pilfered treasure bits.
You mean
from
the
other pop
maze of
houses.
whatever?
Yeah, we
That's
would-
not a maze?
Yeah,
No,
we have.
no, this was after that. This was when
Oh.
he actually
Because
got.
he got the.
I have thoughts
He got
about
the
the
eye
maze,
part?
though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like imagine this is like a tapestry that's supposed to convey a message to the audience of like, hey, don't try to control the dragons because bad shit'll happen, but you don't get that. So he's got like torch in one hand,
Yeah.
scepter in the other, and
He literally. So he's got. Let's see. Which one did he do?
it was
He had the scepter.
Scepter was over here.
Scepter was over there. All right. So he's got the torch over here.
Yeah.
He's got the
Let's get
scepter
this
over
in
here. He's looking at it, and it's literally.
His ass is just cocked out for the audience to see.
That was for
And
the
just
ladies.
stood there like this for a good 30 fucking seconds.
Meanwhile, the camera's just like zooming slowly out from the ass to show how, like,
It was a ridiculous amount of. That was essentially they're trying to film the scene for the movie, but they also had to take the promo photos for the posters at the same time, so he had to pose like that for a good couple of seconds before they actually got him.
The
No,
editor was
it's
like,
not.
"There's no
I
other
gotta-
good scenes. We got.
I gotta look
Let's
this
do
up.
35 more seconds of ass. We're at a CGI dragon budget.
Right.
yeah.
So, I'm so confused about the plot of this movie. So
is everybody
Okay,
else,
wait, no,
including the writers.
I think we got this. I think I can help.
all right, good. So I know Jeremy Irons has to get a rod to control dragons. Apparently that Thora Birch has too.
No, Thor. Okay,
Okay.
I'm looking at the movie.
so
She's like, "Oh, ass shot! I got to find
I'm
her."
yeah. So Tom Baker's 1 day on set.
I don't think that took 1 day.
So the entire time, Jeremy Irons wants his MacGuffin, which is the red rod, which can control the red dragons.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the childlike empress from Neverending Story has the
Gosh,
golden
you
rod.
give me a name.
Moonchild, by the way, is what he
Yeah,
calls
Moonchild.
her.
No.
Because they say it in the books, but not the movie. So Moonchild has the golden rod, which can control the golden dragons. Now Tom Baker's 1 day on set, he's explaining to hero protagonist that
Dragons are magic.
dragons are magic,
Are
and
they?
magical things are good. But the rod is man-made, and man-made things are bad, and
Yeah.
only bad stuff will come if you use the rod to control the dragons. So the red rod is bad, but Moonchild's rod's fucking fine?
Apparently, it's totally cool that she can control dragons. We don't know why. And so he.
That was the good part of Bastian's wish.
So the entire time that they're.
For those listening to the audio podcast later on the show, we're just showing out ass pictures.
Oh my god, it's
Yes.
terrible. So they're.
Should have been here live.
So they're trying to get. He was trying to also like while the rest of them are out on this quest to try and get the red rod, which the childlike empress is told by like head mage dude at the beginning of the movie that that's the only thing she can get. Like if she gets that, then she can somehow keep everyone else from stealing her golden rod.
Are you with us still?
All right, because we're not
Someone
done yet.
wrote this. Put this to paper.
What's that? Even with them explaining it, I've already drifted away. My mind has definitely gone elsewhere already.
So we're trying to
track
get.
of booties. So.
There's a map that is enchanted with some enchantment that the head mage dude. I've never seen magic like this before. Okay.
It's like, how good are you?
Yeah,
Right?
he's like the head mage of the magic school. The magic school.
Which has
they're-
got Hogwarts.
Yeah. Well, essentially, like the whole. Okay, so
Society's into two castes. You've got the
common
mages.
people and the mages.
The mages who run everything, and the common people,
Right.
all the other parties.
Basically,
Right.
you got magic or you don't got magic.
Right.
Right?
But if
Well,
the
you
mages
think so.
don't really have magic. But so
The
they-
higher level mages can use magic, but the mage character that ends up in the party cannot
Can't.
use magic unless she has a magic enchanted item.
Yeah.
So she can't just cast magic, she has to have like a magic soda can to do something.
Right.
Those are my favorite games.
And well, I mean, this was a
Plus
movie
2 to
from
drinking.
this is a fantasy movie from 2000, and she has a vagina, so useless, and literally is cast aside
Honestly,
repeatedly.
Well, because we do have the childlike empress, we can't have 2 women doing things.
Three.
Well,
There's
there's 3.
the elf woman too with the tits.
Don't forget about
super tits.
Yeah,
Um,
the funnel-shaped breastplate that she had. They came to a
The
point.
nipples, right? It had like
Yeah.
It didn't have nipples. It just had areolas.
Right.
By the way, it also had like a navel
Yeah.
on the chest armor.
Yeah.
And she we called her not Halle Berry.
We called her Barry Hallie.
Bally Harry.
Yeah, Bally
But
Harry.
she looks like Halle Berry, but not.
Ish. She had the haircut and
Yeah.
everything with the Wuchi ears,
Yeah.
and it did not match her skin tone.
I like how everyone's just looking this shit up.
There's so many cell phones out.
I
They're
could
like,
do-
how did
No,
you guys
I'm looking
see all
at
that stuff?
literally. I just looked up Dungeons and Dragons tit elf.
I'm sorry. I'd like to see some.
Right.
You'd be surprised when that brought up.
I would
then
not
had to
be
go
surprised.
back- Then I had to go back and say, hold on, let me put movie. Because that brought up all kinds of images that were not what I was.
So while you guys are doing that, we'll try to fill everybody
Yeah.
in on how
I'm
like.
loving this. This is great.
So here's how the party gets formed. Hero protagonist and Marlon Wayans break into the magic school. At the same time, low-level mage who can't use magic is being shown the map by Uncle Grandfather who's going to get killed in 5 minutes. So, bad guy comes in, kills Uncle Grandfather. She finds hero protagonist and Marlon Wayans being chased by Periwinkle. So they escape, and they run into a dwarf.
My
who's
next
played-
D&D character will be named Periwinkle.
Yep, that's it.
Periwinkle the
I
fight.
don't know if you guys could see the shiny.
Yeah.
Everyone's already got their phones
Yeah.
out. Yep.
Real quick before you get there, I while looking up, the elf is played by Kristen Wilson. When I IMDb her picture is actually her in that movie.
Oh.
She's like, that's my favorite jam I was in. So
She's so
Oh.
sad because she was one of the better ones.
So they run into a dwarf who's played by one of the side pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean. And literally what happens is they run into him, they knock his hat off,
He gets super pissed.
then Periwinkle shows up.
Yeah,
It was.
it is. It's
Periwinkle and his faceless army shows up, and then somehow behind the little like patch of garbage he's sleeping on, there's just a water slide. So they all dive
as one
down
expects,
that.
actually.
yeah, totally.
They all dive down that, and then all of a sudden Dwarf, whose name is never fucking mentioned in the movie,
No.
Never, not once.
he's either referred to you or the dwarf.
That's it. Ever.
They all of a sudden he's like, well, I guess I'm in on it now. I was like, no, you could fucking walk
But
away.
why
for those playing at home, his name is Elwood Gutworthy.
That's why it's not mentioned.
That's
Elwood.
literally never said one
At all.
time in the movie.
Right.
He used to have a brother named Jake.
Jake
Elwood.
Gutworthy. Yeah.
So then they're trying to go, and they realize, oh, well, there's also like scenes missing because hero protagonist sees the map, and he's like, oh, my dad showed me something, and he gets sucked into the map.
No, he did cast a spell and got
Right,
sucked into
that's the thing.
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
he know how to do magic?
Exactly.
He said his dad showed him how to do that.
Because his dad had similar locks on things.
My dad shows me magic all the time.
Clearly.
Sure he does.
So then
Isn't that illegal?
mage chick gets super pissed that like this random road dude was
Did
able to
magic.
get into the map. So she grabs it and does the same thing so that she can also go into the map.
Then we are not treated to the scene of what they see in the
Because
map.
we have
At
to watch Marlon Wayans' Mac on the Elf Chick.
Right.
Yes.
That's it.
Bally Harry shows up, and Marlon Wayans is like, ooh, I'm going to go do my thing. And
Real
the
quick,
dwarf is like,
Bally Harry has a job. She is the Empress's tracker.
Yes.
yes.
I didn't realize that until like 3/4 of the movie. I'm
No,
like, they keep talking about this tracker, and then they show her, and like, they don't say, like, I'm the tracker. She's like, oh, that's who she is. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of missing information.
There's so
A
much.
lot.
So we don't get the scene of what they see in the map, but they get pulled back out, and then it's like, tell them what you saw. It's like, shouldn't we have seen that as the
Maybe
audience?
That's how. No.
Nope. So hero protagonist says we have to go get the Dragon's Eye, and the Dragon's Eye is in the Thieves Guild. He's like, well, I'm a thief, so let's go to the Thieves Guild. So they go, and they are met by Richard
Riff-Raff.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
Somebody who reminds me a lot of Riff Raff. I don't know.
Because he is.
Yeah.
Very.
There was a lot. Okay, so while we're watching this movie, the second he came on screen, he's like, it's astounding. For the rest of the time he's on scene, we're just randomly quoting Rocky
So
Horror.
at that time in England, Richard O'Brien hosted a show called The Crystal Maze, where people would basically go through this kind of trapdoor and trap-filled maze to win money or a prize. So of course, Richard O'Brien has the Dragon's Eye at the heart of a maze.
Which I contend is not a maze.
No,
It's not.
it's not.
No.
It
Which
is-
leads me to believe that Outer Space is actually the D&D movie.
Well, so essentially, instead of it being a maze, what you get is the watered-down version of the trials from Indiana Jones.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like,
You've got
it's like the hallway of doom.
Yeah.
yeah, because you've got
You've got the slicey knives.
The slicey knives from the
From-
beginning
Right.
of the Penitent Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you've got
The fire.
the firewall, which
Yeah,
is
the fire
basically
foods.
Jehovah starts with an eye. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
step on the right things.
Right thing.
Then you go back to Temple of Doom
Right.
for the crushing ceiling.
Right.
Right.
Then you go. Does he get the Dragon's Eye after that?
Seems like he
Yes.
did. It was
Yes.
real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was so
because
easy.
once he went through the dropping ceiling thing, that's when it opened up and he was able to go in and he looked at it's on a fucking pedestal
Yeah.
and
then-
he's like looking at it and he actually moves dirt underneath it. I'm like, if he puts dirt in a bag and tries to I'm gonna lose it.
He doesn't rub his chin, but he very surreptitiously does this thing real quick with his hands.
Yeah.
Little rubby fingers. So he takes it, and then of course he leaves, and then Richard O'Brien's like, I'll take my prize now. And he's like, what about honor amongst thieves? I died.
Okay, so my question here for I'm glad you brought this. All right, I assume this dude is in control of the hallway of doom, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's his.
That's his, right?
Yeah.
Is it me, or should there be like a back door or something that he can get the crystal anytime he wants to?
Well, what
I
I
guess he built this.
What
Right.
I believe is Richard O'Brien did not build that.
Yeah.
I think that he found it.
And was
And
like,
then-
I want that,
and
but I
claim
can't
property.
get to it.
So I'm gonna
build
let
this
some
guild
stupid
around
kid
it.
come in.
So in my headcanon, I imagine this instead. He built it, but he built it backwards. So he's like, I'll put the treasure here. And then, no,
I'm gonna
no
build the
trap.
shit in front of it.
And then I'll put something less crazy here.
So
and
it's
then,
a dude who mopped himself into a corner.
right, exactly.
That's
It's
essentially
like,
what
oh
this
wait,
is.
I need that crystal. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hero protagonist gets the crystal. Periwinkle shows up. There's a fight. They sneak out. Then they run into Bally Harry.
Yeah.
She captures them.
And
then she
Periwinkle captures the mage girl, the useless mage girl.
Yes, and then Bally Harry has a cell phone call to the childlike empress.
With a magic mirror, essentially. It's like, who's the fairest of them all?
Bally Harry has like a magic rock.
Yeah.
Like she
and
puts
the empress
a rock
has
up.
a mirror.
And the empress is like,
FaceTiming. They're
Yeah.
Skyping.
Yeah, they're FaceTiming.
They're
They're essentially
That's where the technology comes from.
Yeah.
That's the idea came from in
Yeah.
this movie.
so then Moonchild goes, take them where they need to go, because that makes sense. Then after that, the dwarf is like, hey, I'm still here.
Right.
Then they go to the castle,
Yeah, they go to the castle.
the actual location.
Which is essentially, them walking into the castle was fucking hilarious, because they show the castle, and it's like, ooh, look at that. Oh, that's a modern gate. Okay, whatever. And then there's this terrible CGI beholder, and they just throw a rock the opposite direction, and it goes, "Arr!" And they all go this way, and that's it.
And they sneak past
You're
it.
done.
Yeah.
And then they show the rest of the castle, and it's basically, oh, there's their Ren Fair.
Yep.
All right. And they're going through, and they're trying to find things, and they end up, like, it's just Snails and hero protagonist, and they get split up. And Snails ends up in Periwinkle's bedroom.
Yes.
And at first he saw, like, his armor and was like, oh my god! Oh, wait, it's just armor. And so he, of course, like, stands up behind it, and he's like, murmur, murmur, murmur.
I'm having a joke time. Comic relief.
And then he, like, goes, to the other side, he's like, ha, yeah. Starts stealing random shit around the room.
He steals the Deus Ex Machina.
Right.
He steals the bag of magic, like glitter.
Like fairy dust, essentially. And then he's, like, poking around,
I like magic glitter.
poking around, and he sees the map that he needs, because they're trying to get the map back from him. So he sees the map, at which point he's, like, goes to walk over a rug that is essentially just a giant vat of oatmeal.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be quicksand.
No, that was oatmeal. That
It
was
was oatmeal.
Absolutely
100%.
oatmeal.
That was Morton Hines magical oatmeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it
Plus
was
three,
one
it
of-
just
It was even
Delicious.
rolled oats. Like, it wasn't even the
Right,
steel cup
it's like-
ones.
yeah.
It was rolled.
It was-
obviously
oh, it was
oatmeal.
oatmeal.
It was one of the like more decent practical effects because like some poor set guy
Yeah.
had to
cook
like
that
color the top of the oatmeal to look like the rug. So
With like an airbrush for like 3 hours.
Yeah, just
for it
for-
to look like a rug for about 10 seconds.
Could you imagine the poor PAs who have to make those gallons of oatmeal that you swallow Marlon
And they
Wayans?
clearly did it more than once because you can like, it's oatmeal up to here, oatmeal's only up to here, oatmeal's all the way up to here, oatmeal's over like this, oatmeal's down here. So they did this scene repeatedly, and I feel terrible for their PAs.
Yes, yes.
then Periwinkle shows up and he's like, "Need a hand?" to like that's like a terrible
Yeah.
quip.
Pulls the guy out.
So then they start fighting. Hero protagonist saves useless mage from the dungeon by picking a lock with a key.
Yeah.
You know what? Handy.
So
Can't
they
deny
run,
the logic there.
they run out, and then Marlon Wayans has like the only bit of, oh, I'm gonna actually act and not just make a girly shriek and then bump into something. He has a fight with Periwinkle. Marlon Wayans tosses them the map. Periwinkle stabs Marlon Wayans and gets grape jelly all over his knife.
Because Marlon Wayans is full of grape
Yeah.
jelly.
Apparently.
The blood looked terrible.
It was so it's chunky.
Schmuckers.
And then Periwinkle just
Like,
throws
tosses him over the side.
throws a dummy off the side of the castle because they couldn't afford an airbag.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Then useless mage uses the magic sand to open up a portal to get her and hero protagonist out of there.
But this is the hero protagonist like goes after Periwinkle, like, you killed my friend, I'm gonna hurt you. And of course Periwinkle's like, whatever.
Oh, yeah, no,
whatever,
they start
whatever.
fighting.
They have the fight where it's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm really exaggerating all of my movements, and the other guy's just standing there and just blocking it, like, I'm bored now.
Oh, well, you forget very quickly about hero protagonists.
I don't know why he didn't get the Oscar for that. Jeremy Irons should have gave him his Oscar. Sir, you earned this.
The amount of overacting that happens is just phenomenal.
So I want to pause right here because we forgot apparently important plot points. In between of all this action stuff, they slow the action down because the mages want the childlike empresses.
Oh, the political part.
Right.
Yes, right. And so because we are now post Phantom Menace, there has to be politics because that's what kids love. Kids love politics. Let's have us a Congress thing. So I love using my charisma to roll +2 for voting rights.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole scene where the mages want to take over. I don't know.
They want Moonchild to give up the rod.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because they're scared of her power or something. But mainly just Jeremy Irons wants that. He gives this powerful political speech in the middle of this movie. Just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's like,
He essentially becomes Jeremy Palpatine at that point.
right,
Yeah.
yes.
And he's convincing all of them that they can't trust Amidala because she's got the rod
Right.
and they need the rod from
They need
her.
her lightsaber,
She's
they're
got
not
too
gonna-
much power.
And he
so-
literally ends his speech with the "I am not a crook" pose.
Yeah. Like straight up peace signs in the air.
I mean, I just wanted to point that out because the filmmakers thought it was important to put politics into this film,
Right.
and I just want to make sure we covered it.
And this is the point where this poor girl is put in this. It's the same outfit that she's on the front of this thing, where she's got like these weird gold things coming up, and you can tell that they told her, okay, you can't move too much because we're gonna have
very
to go
much like
behind
this.
you. You've got the blue screen behind you, and we're gonna need to cut you out, so you
She's
like
can't
this.
move too much.
The whole time.
So like her head never moves.
Nope.
And then she's
very
wearing
much
these gold lame heels that are at least this tall
Yeah. Well,
for no reason.
she's this tall, and Jeremy Irons is this tall.
Right.
There's a reason.
So they have to have they didn't have for the wide shot any apple boxes for that.
I guess.
So
Please put a force protector. They'll
Yeah.
put it back.
So then, also, this is the point of the movie where we're just like, well, this is Star Wars Anna Jones.
Yeah.
So,
Dun, dun, dun.
so then, in the fight between hero protagonist and Periwinkle, by the way, when they're fighting, you can tell their swords are not sharp at all.
And they're dulled. Like there's so many nicks in the
Yeah.
sides of the prop swords.
So hero gets stabbed in the upper shoulder, and then Mage takes him away, and then all of a sudden they're standing by this giant fucking matte painting of Yggdrasil, but it's terrible. It's like the worst tree of life I've ever seen.
This was clearly drawn by like a 15-year-old in the middle of English class.
Yes. Then,
It's like, my nephew's got a cool, he can draw.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can draw. He can totally draw. He
Then-
can totally draw. Yeah.
then we are treated to 5 delightful minutes of Tom Baker.
Yes.
Who's an elf?
Who is an
He's
elf?
an elf. And then that's it. He's not in any more of the movie.
Yep, that's it.
Then he heals hero protagonist. Then hero protagonist and useless mage have the "oh, I don't like you, blah blah blah, kiss
Kiss, 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 kiss.
scene.
Sexual tension.
Yeah.
Then
Obligatory sexual attention.
then the next day, hero protagonist Ballyhairy dwarf who's like, I'm still here.
I literally forgot he was there for most of the movie.
Right.
He's like in the
So
background.
did everybody else.
Yeah.
They're like,
I imagine him calling and going, "You need me on set today? Am I here?"
yeah. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna go find the red rod. So they all go to the cave, and then hero protagonist walks in, and there's a magic wall. No one else can get in but hero protagonist.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are we fucking here on set? Whatever, I'm getting paid. Where's craft services?
So he takes the worst lantern thing on the planet. This thing literally only illuminates his face.
Well, they couldn't get a bounce light in the cave.
Clearly.
No.
But he's walking around trying to figure use this he's seeing it. It's only illuminating his face. There's no
Nothing
light coming
other.
front. But there's the mystical green light that's coming from further into the cave for no fucking reason.
Which is hidden just behind a bunch of roots.
Yeah.
So
And he went at one point I swear he
Like
went too
Questlove,
far.
or-
You could tell that at one point the director was like, okay, don't go too far because you're going to run out of set. And he did. So he had to
back up.
play with them for a second and then
Yeah.
back up.
Because they can't cut and do because they're running out of film.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, the floor just falls out from under hero protagonist, and he slides into the tomb that Aladdin goes into, the Cave of Wonders.
Right, the Cave of Wonders.
Where it's like, don't touch the other treasure. So he has that moment of, ooh, I'm a thief. Nah.
I can't do this.
No.
I don't need money.
Then there's just a skeleton on a stick, basically.
Yeah.
Who's holding the red rod. And the skeleton comes to life, and it's like, don't use this, bad things will happen. And he's like, okay. So he takes it, skeleton dies, and then he does the hero ass pose, looking at the mural on the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. Then he walks out, and all of a sudden, Periwinkle's back.
And he's got his friends.
And he's got everyone captive. And then he's like, give me the rod, and I won't kill you.
I'll let them go.
So
He, like,
then...
I've cut her neck.
Oh no, got corn syrup on her.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they can afford the corn syrup.
I just wish that I had not watched the movie and listened to you.
This is a better version.
This is way better than the movie.
So, Useless Mage is like, don't do it. Bally Harry's like, I got nothing to
Whatever.
say. Dwarf is like,
no,
still
we
here.
still hadn't even seen the dwarf yet.
No, he was there.
No, we didn't see the dwarf until after he gave him the rod.
Oh, it's true. So, Hero Protagonist hands over the rod, and then he goes, you said you'd let them go! And Periwinkle goes, I lied.
Kill them.
The writer high-fived himself when he typed that in and was like, fuck yeah.
Remember when I killed you last, Benny? So, then they have a fight, and
now,
then
like,
all
out
of a sudden...
nowhere, so he gives him the rod, and the guy's like, I can finally go do this. And out of nowhere, for whatever reason, suddenly we see the dwarf again, who we had not seen this entire time. And not only do we see him, but he's like, oh, right, I'm a dwarf, and I'm just gonna break away from these guys. Elf chick
two guys are
breaks
holding him.
away from these guys. Everyone is suddenly able to just break away from everybody who's holding them and beat the shit out of them.
Now.
Why didn't you do that 5 minutes ago?
Because they just got their character sheets.
Basically, what I feel like is you
Finally rolled high enough.
Yeah.
Right.
The
It's
moment
like,
that he hands over the rod, everyone got just enough XP to level up.
So, when Hero Protagonist is in the cave, back at the Council of Palpatine, they're like, well, Moonchild won't give us the goldenrod, so we're going to have dragons come and fight. So Red Dragon starts showing up, and then Moonchild's golden dragon starts showing up.
And
So there's
she's
this-
somehow, like, out of nowhere, right? Like, first she was in the tower with them, and then she's like, this is terrible, and holds up her goldenrod and goes, come to me. Okay.
and then, like, she starts riding one.
Yeah,
How she got from the tower surrounded by the other dudes onto the back of this
her
dragon.
writing it is all these close-ups like she's in an X-wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going after the Death Star.
Again,
It's
Star Wars
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Star Wars Indiana Jones.
So, there's this like dogfight going on with these dragons, and then Periwinkle opens up a portal to go to the tower where Jeremy Irons is, and Hero Protagonist jumps in after him. So then Periwinkle gives the rod to Jeremy Irons, who's like, finally, it's time. And then like 3 minutes later,
Yeah, like 3 minutes
Hero
later,
Protagonist pops out of the
In
portal.
a different place.
Because reasons.
Sure.
Magic.
So, yeah. So then, Hero Protagonist and Periwinkle fight.
Now, Hero Protagonist at this point, like, they're fighting, and they're fighting, he's got the magic sword that the elves gave him, and he's like, now I have you, there's no escape, I've got you, and then promptly gets his ass kicked.
Yes.
Like, not
Immediately.
even remotely badass. Like, he has this whole, like, I'm super angry, and I'm gonna have this, speech, and then I'm gonna kick your ass for a bit. No, there was no I'm gonna kick his ass. It was, I'm gonna say this thing, and then the dude just bitch slapped him.
Right, so what that is that's the dungeon master who created a badass NPC and cannot roll higher than 5.
So,
With bonuses, I'm fucking missing! It's just,
yeah. So they fight for a bit, and then the rest of the team shows up from a magic portal.
Or something.
Well, Useless Mage had the sand.
Right.
So
Of course.
So they all show up now. They're all on the tower because they knew that's where they went.
Yeah.
So they end up knocking Periwinkle off the tower. Then then Jeremy Irons is like, so you've come. And then Hero Protagonist wants to fight. Like, everyone tries to fight him, and then he's just like, different Photoshop filter on you to stop you in place. like knocks out everybody in the party but hero protagonist, and then they start fighting. He falls down, and then Jeremy Irons has the line from the trailer, "Now is your time to die." And then
Somehow the
It's a
rod.
really good Jeremy Irons.
Somehow the rod got knocked out of Jeremy Irons' hand, and it's like on the ground.
Useless mage hit him.
Right, and so hero protagonist picks up the rod himself, and it's
And then,
Jeremy Irons is like, "You think you can wield it?
And then he's like, got that moment where he's like, he's tempted by
I'm
the
gonna do
power.
it. I'm gonna do it."
And then he's like,
overacting.
wait a minute, what step in the hero's journey is this?
Oh, right,
Right,
I do
okay,
the right
no,
thing.
yes. So he smashes the rod, and Jeremy Irons is like,
No! What have you done?
and then at that point, one of the dragons he was controlling just like shows up,
And just
but eats him. And I mean, he was hungry.
Well,
He
It's true.
needed more iron in his diet.
he did.
how long have you been waiting on that joke?
Since his
Last
wife
night.
actually made it.
Oh, bravo!
I have been waiting 24 hours for that joke.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
That was
I'm
awesome.
proud of my wife.
Yeah. She's better than all of us.
She is.
So the movie almost ends.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh God, there's so much more.
And
So
well, not a lot, but
Not a lot.
Too much.
so basically, Jeremy Irons is defeated. Everyone, hooray, right?
yes,
And then they cut to like a day or so later, and they're at Snails' grave. They get there should be a celebration. We immediately go to a cemetery.
no, they're filming in an actual fucking cemetery
Right.
at this point. And then they've got like here's like all these really old headstones,
With like ivy growing over them. It's beautiful. It's
because
absolutely
all of this was
gorgeous.
filmed in the Czech Republic. So
And
and then there's just
like
like
a
a pile of rocks.
With snails carved into one of them
Yeah, that's it.
for his name. And hero protagonist is looking like the guy from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes.
He's got
Yeah.
got
No, or
the jacket.
14. For like the
One of the
newer
Final
one, yeah.
Fantasy. It had to be 8 because it was 2000.
Yes.
But it was,
So-
all of a sudden he's got this like black leather and
Yeah.
You're looking a little stiff.
He's like, I'm gonna find a biker gang.
yeah.
Yeah.
He got paid,
Yeah.
and so he leveled up his armor.
So
Right.
he's talking to Snails and he's like, I did it for you, buddy.
I wish you could have been there.
I'm missing my own knighting ceremony. And then he,
Because-
Can you believe it? I'm gonna be a knight.
oh my god, you guys,
Guys,
you're not over here. So then, like, he somehow has the Dragon's Eye gem back,
Yeah, 'cause
which they never explain how he got that back, and he leaves that on Snail's grave.
'Cause
Then,
that's gonna stay there forever. No
Yeah.
one's gonna take that.
I'm like, I'm gonna steal that
yeah,
willingly.
Right.
then this is what happens. Ballyharry shows up, Useless Maid shows up, Nameless Dwarf shows up. They pick the rock back up, and Ballyharry says some weird thing, and then Snails' name disappears from the rock. Then they all put their hands
Yeah.
on the dragon's eye.
And she says something like, your friend is waiting for you.
Yes.
You know, and don't look back on this gift or something along the lines.
Something like
Right.
that. And then
Essentially, don't ask fucking questions. This is a huge plot hole.
yeah. Then they all turn into balls of light and sparkle off and cut to black.
Credits.
That was it.
That's the movie.
So this movie came out in
You're welcome.
this movie came out in December of 2000, December 8th, the opening weekend. How much money did it make?
Ooh.
So
Okay.
starting with Justine, we'll go down the. How much
Okay.
money did this make opening weekend? That's a good.
25,000.
25,000.
What was the budget?
I don't have it right
It was probably
handy.
2,000.
If we should.
Okay, wait. Year 2000, opening weekend, opening box office. I'm going to say it probably grossed domestic box office 12 million.
So 12 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're like Price is writing this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, 12 million and one.
Wait, 12 million and 1,000 or 12 million and $1?
12 million and $1.
Damn it!
I would give you a prize if that's the answer, but it's not. I'd be like,
Trying to
damn,
get
sold.
closest, right?
Right.
I'm gonna say 9.5.
If we're going down, you're the closest. If we're going up, technically, Justina's the closest. Opening weekend, it came in 5th for the weekend. Not bad for a fantasy film, especially in December. It made $7.2 million.
Oh.
Guys, so
just
this
won
was
that.
a Christmas
Oh.
movie.
I was close. I was
It
close.
was,
You won, yeah.
Whatever.
it was beaten by number one was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
All right.
That-
Well, yeah, 'cause
Like,
that was a
yeah,
weird
yeah.
But of course, it was also in its third weekend by then. Here's the second, Vertical Limit, which was in its opening
I
weekend.
never saw that.
I don't even remember that. movie.
Proof of Life, which ruined
I never saw that movie.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's marriage
Oh,
because
yeah.
Russell Crowe got it.
Oh, yeah.
That ruined their marriage. And then Unbreakable, M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, that was a great movie.
That
That's
actually
one of
was
my
solid.
favorite movies.
And then the Dungeons and Dragons came in fifth, but it beat that weekend. It beat 102 Dalmatians, Rugrats in Paris, the movie,
So all the kid movies.
Charlie's Angels.
Well, to be fair, it's not hard to beat that.
Okay, but you know what?
Bounce.
That one's better.
You know, it is
I
better.
would watch
empirically.
Charlie's Angels.
Empirically,
I
it's
did,
better.
over that.
Men of Honor, The Sixth Day, Billy Elliot, Little Nicky, and what surprisingly,
Even Little Nicky was a better movie than this.
Little Nicky was in its third or fourth weekend too. Opening weekend it did beat was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That was a great movie.
Ouch.
But no. And here's why. Dungeons & Dragons opened up in 2,078 theaters. Crouching Dragon did 16.
Oh,
okay.
And
yeah.
so.
Okay.
That's.
So I would like to say something about this movie real quick.
Please do.
Yeah.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, I have only ever heard about people who have played, and I have now seen a play and a movie about it. And this movie very much felt like kids playing this game. Like if my 10-year-old and my 5-year-old got us out of the game, they were like, "Let's play." That's exactly like all of the crazy that you guys everything. It's like kids sitting down and they played the game,
Yeah.
and that's what happened.
Well, that
Everything can be explained if you
I
just
mean-
look at like small children playing it. You're like, that makes sense.
I feel that if I were playing this Dungeons Dragons on the same level drunk I was on my birthday, that is probably how the game would
Like
come
I think
out.
it's like
It would be
if
just
I
like that.
played it, that's how I would be the political one that is like, no, I'm gonna do good with my rod, and my rod can call dragons. So you guys. Can
So you're
fight over
basically
the other
Moonchild,
rod.
all right.
Yeah, like I'd be
But
willing to
how
be like,
big
"Can
is
we
your
go back to
rod?
the politics,
I mean, do you
please?"
have a big rod?
Also-
And I really want one of those things.
Which is asking
so I
over
don't- I
there.
can't-
Also, fun
He's in the
fact.
audience.
Moonchild's rod
His
was
size
smaller than Jeremy Irons' rod.
It's not the size.
I will say,
Sometimes
like,
size matters.
if I were actually in this movie, the second, like, if I was hero protagonist, the second I had that rod in my hand, I'd be like, fuck this. Red dragons, I win.
Yes.
Like, why would you not just call on the red fucking dragons right then and there?
And just
Oh,
be done.
you've got my useless mage girlfriend. It's cool. I can get another one, but let's see if I can get you with fire first.
Yes.
So many plot holes.
Because children do that. Children don't make sense.
I'm
They'd be
also.
like, no, they said that was bad. Mommy said that was bad.
I'm pretty sure a 10-year-old also designed Bally Harry's armor.
See?
Because
Probably.
it's like, I think
I'm gonna
that's
go-
what
no,
boobs
I'm
look
gonna
like.
go- I'm gonna go
I
14.
think a 15-year-old boy
Yeah.
designed her armor.
Because it's
I'm
literally,
pretty
all right,
sure.
for those of you who did not get to see it, it is essentially cone tits, like straight up two funnels on her tits with just areolas. No
Areolas.
nipples, but just the areolas. Then
Very-
it comes
and they're
down
shiny.
and it's like this swooping
There's
around. So
like
there's no protection whatsoever on the side.
a
And
shadow
then
of abs,
a shadow. She's
then,
got
like,
a 4-pack.
a teardrop navel.
And then this giant teardrop navel, and it comes down to a point like vagina.
And then she also has like shin guards that like also like have navels on them. It's super weird.
Yeah.
There's like one
15-year-old
shot
boy
where you see
designed
her
this armor.
legs.
And then this weird like 4-piece plastic art. Like clearly, this is some Party City shit that she's wearing.
So this movie exists for a reason. Do any of you know why this movie exists?
So Jeremy Irons could have a castle.
No.
Okay, wait, no, I think I remember reading about this. I think, if I remember correctly, there was a guy who for 10 years wanted to get the movie made.
12.
12 years, damn it. He had the rights for it, and he eventually finally got the funding, but I don't think he changed the script in any of those years.
Here's the thing. So the director and writer of this film is Courtney Solomon. And it was rewritten by a couple of guys afterwards. And he had Dungeons & Dragons used to be owned by a company called TSR. And they had the rights to it, and he had the movie rights. Well, TSR was going to sell to Wizards of the Coast, so had a small window to make this movie. So that's how he quickly got funding, real quick. And that's I think what he did was got the Jeremy Irons Castle money, and then signed him and got everyone else on board. And that's how they made this movie. This
was 100% okay, I know that this sounds like shit, but I've got Jeremy Irons. Would Jeremy Irons be on this if it wasn't going to be a good movie?
Even as an actor, even if I read that script and went, this looks like shit.
Terrible. Wait, Jeremy Irons?
I get to work with Jeremy Irons?
All right.
Okay. All right.
Only if I get cones, though, on my outfit. If I don't have cones as nips,
I
I'm
want to be
leaving.
Tit Girl. That's
But I think there's only like 3 actors that actually have scenes with Jeremy Irons. There's Periwinkle, there's
They may not
Moonchild,
have known that. though.
and your protagonist.
No, he's got the elf chick for that 1 second where he puts her in the weird force field.
Oh, yeah. That was like before lunch.
Yeah.
Solomon has directed 2 other films. In
Ooh.
2005, he did An American Haunting.
Oh.
And yeah. And then he did 2013. He did Getaway.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, which is also terrible.
Yeah.
There is a sequel. I think
I'm noticing a pattern.
There's a sequel to this that he executive produced called Wrath of the Dragon God, and Periwinkle's back in that. So they were
Does
like,
he still have the lipstick?
yeah, he was like, hey, you have fun, right? Sure, come back into this film. I don't know how he got him back, but.
Do we have to watch that one too?
No, thank God, no.
I'm not doing it.
Like, Scotty, we like you. Come on.
Okay, here's the thing, Scotty. I'm gonna do it, but you gonna pay me.
Yeah, can we send you receipts for the rental?
Yeah.
movie?
Can I itemize it? It's $4.36.
So let's get to
Yeah,
can we get to the booze part about this?
Yes. Do you have a drink part?
So I usually, when we do these, I come up with a cocktail that we pair this. I'm the booze part of this movie. So
Everybody's the booze.
So was Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
and it's funny.
Everybody.
So I actually researched. Okay, there are all kinds of cocktails that come up. You know, there's the Dragon, which is it's a vodka and some sort of fancy Chambord kind of thing, and then a lot of D&D like sites recommend different meads and beers and wines and all this kind of stuff to go with your games, whether what class you are. If you're going to watch this film, I suggest you either drink straight Jaeger or straight tequila and just knock yourself out. Because there's no way.
If you want to make a drinking game out of the movie,
I mean, you cannot drink anything fancy with this and enjoy the movie.
Here's the
You
thing,
just
if
need
you're-
to just get drunk.
If you're gonna make a drinking game out of this movie, you need to be drinking like Michelob Ultra because anything stronger, you're going to kill yourself.
Oh yeah.
here's
yeah.
what you do. You
Many a frat boy have died.
you get an outline of the hero's journey. And every time you recognize something, you take a shot.
You're going to die. Within the first 10 minutes, you're going to kill yourself.
Well, I mean, the fact that you would purposely watch this movie in the first place says something about you. It says something about us.
Yeah.
Right?
Ain't
I'm just saying.
So before we go,
I was
we
drinking,
need
by
to
the
start
way,
wrapping
when
this
I
up.
watched
Audience, how many of you have actually seen this film? Oh, that's a good number.
Okay.
Usually they're
All right.
like, we've never
I
heard
need
of
to
it.
know,
How
do
many of
you
you
guys
enjoyed
think
it?
that our assessment, our recap of the film, was that relatively accurate to your memories? Okay, I just
Okay,
needed
good.
to know.
We did our job.
Can I rephrase your summary? So there's a dwarf that's treated badly, a magician that doesn't know how to do magic revives someone, all under the backdrop of a girl that controls dragon battling a frozen guy that controls dragons.
Pretty much.
Which is basically Game of Thrones.
Winner! Winner! I'm gonna give a prize for that one. That was
Normally you would say congratulations, but
Nope.
in this case, I'm sorry.
You're getting a sequel too. The winner.
Good for you.
You got something to fall asleep to.
Something to drink to.
Who can top that?
Who else would like to?
How long
do
you been waiting for
Very
that one?
Dungeons and Dragons.
I've got another 2. I've got.
Here you go, Prize Pixie.
Oh, don't make me decide.
Go.
Yeah, just show what we have. Show what we have.
Well, I'm gonna pick, and I'm.
Please don't give them to Josh.
That's the sound of a woman. I don't want that in my house.
Come here.
They're married.
Come here, my friend. Thank you. Now, can you do your best sexy as you're giving treasure? Here's a rod.
That is
Give me a torch.
there's the blue rod.
He needs a torch.
So we'll have.
Give him that. Give him your stand for the torch.
Yeah, there's your torch.
With your rod and your torch.
So give me your best sexy.
Do it.
Here, I'll do it with you.
Look at the painting.
Look at the painting.
Give us your best
You gotta
ass
think.
pose.
You gotta
Remember,
think.
the ass goes out, but it twists
So you
just
gotta hold,
ever so
this
slightly.
on that side. Hold this out so the audience can see it, like that. Your torch is down here a little bit, and your ass is like that. Hold it.
Hold
Hold it.
Camera's panning out. This is for the trailer.
Zoom in out.
Perfect. Oh, bravo! We're gonna give you a copy of this wonderful, excellent film.
We're sorry.
Enjoy. And we're also, because you're such a good sport, give him a round of hand.
Yes.
In the 80s, there was a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Yep.
Here's the first 9 episodes. Enjoy. How does it feel to lose?
That's a man who's never gonna watch this show again.
This is our second year doing this show at Mobicon. Mopcast has been here our third year, so definitely check out mopcast.com. Guys, plug your stuff.
All right, so cool. We have a webcomic, The Adventures of Scott, Bunny, and Eris. It is a cute little bunny and dino. All the comics are based off of stuff that actually happened to us on
I
the
can't
road
wait to
at
see the
conventions.
panel version of that. That's gotta happen. I'm just saying.
You can find it on facebook.com/Scott and Eris. We've got some shows going on this weekend.
We do. We're doing we're hosting the Comic Con costume contest. And we're doing one of our new shows.
Yes.
We've been working for quite a while putting this one together. We're super proud of it. Everyone in here looks to be an adult. It's called Talking Dicks. It is exactly what it sounds like.
We have props.
They're fantastic. We have such sights to show you.
Yes.
Nice.
And that's tomorrow
I
night
was into the
after.
Hellraiser thing. I'm out.
You know you want to see it.
It's like, where does Pinhead actually fit?
And we also, on Sunday, will be doing a talk about how to use humor to deal with chronic pain.
All right.
Oh, like, okay.
Way to end it on a down note,
bring the
Scott.
room down.
Good job.
Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at the same place. We're here.
We're here.
We're doing hashtag the pop culture game show.
The prizes are way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
these are more punishments for the show.
Yeah.
We wish we could be here for that. We're hosting
But,
costume.
yeah, costume contest, but it's a good. They were here last year with us.
We
Yeah, we
were.
were. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
This podcast should be up this week on mopcast.com, so you can hear this and the pictures of his wonderful bottom. And
Yes, we took pictures.
so last question for the panel: would you recommend this movie?
I just acted.
I have
wait
a
for you to
qualified-
take
To my
it.
ex-husband,
we
I
have
would
qualified.
recommend this
Of course
movie
you
to my
qualifies.
ex-husband.
Okay.
To whom? Do I like this person?
It's up to you.
I will say my kids
To
came
a
out when
stranger,
it was
would you
on, and they
recommend
were
this to a
like, I
stranger?
don't want to play anymore. I want to watch this movie. So my small children enjoyed it.
If you have a group of friends who like Mystery Science Theater and like to make fun of movies together,
And you've been drinking.
this is a perfect movie to make fun of with a group.
It is. It is
Outside of that,
fantastic.
no.
Okay, but I'm a sadistic bastard.
Yes.
So, yeah. 100% enthusiastically. Oh my god, it's amazing. You should watch it.
Just to punish people.
Stephanie?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a couple of people I work with I would wish this upon, but other than that, no. You know who I'm talking about.
I will recommend this if you're hosting a panel show and you want to torture your friends. I win because I made them pay $3.99 to watch this movie.
Oh, you're getting the bill.
Okay, I did not put
She was like,
money.
yeah.
That's the price of a vodka tonic, right?
Whatever movie you pick next year, sir.
I'm picking the next movie. It's my
Give it up for our
turn.
panel. Yay! Give it up for the audience. Thank you for coming out. We hope to see you tomorrow. Go enjoy more con.
Yes.
You've earned a drink.
Or that.
Thank you for listening to the Mopcast Network.